Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good day and welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here. Today is the 10th of January, and, we're suffering through winter. I was talking about Iran and the United States. And, I was trying to put a little bit of the humor into the situation. But, it's a very tense situation. And it seems to have cooled off now. Thank goodness, guys. That was a close one, guys. I'm glad that war never happened. Boy, that come close. Anyway, listen. I've come to a conclusion. And my conclusion is based on observation. I don't think either side really wants war. And that's a good thing, guys. Thank God. If the United States had wanted war, they had ample opportunity while Iran was attacking their bases. There's several hours there. Maybe 4 hours there. If the United States really wanted war. And Iran, for their part, they would have targeted altogether different if they wanted war. I don't think either side really wants war. Thank goodness. The last thing we need is another war in this world. Anyway, moving on. What's happening with Bitcoin? I'll tell you what. Bitcoin is slowly but surely becoming a safe haven asset. This is what I truly believe is actually happening. You see your army of hodlers, and what's the net effect of all of this is we see stability actually starting to come to the cryptocurrency market for the first time. I mean, I lived through a period where there was so much instability. Bitcoin could move down 20% in an hour. And it could move to the upside 20 or 30% in an hour. We don't see these huge moves to the downside and upside so much anymore. To the chagrin of traders. I mean, traders could make out massively back when in the early days. Call it the cowboy days, the days of the old West, for cryptocurrencies. I see that coming to a close. And I see Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies moving into kind of like a new phase in their development. And people that have cryptocurrencies now in their wallets, and they're seeing the price moving downwards, they are opting out of selling. They're waiting. And I think it's a good thing because I think cryptocurrencies is actually starting to heat up very slowly now at this point. I watched what was happening during this geopolitical storm that occurred over in Iran and Iraq. And, I watched carefully what was happening with the price of gold and silver as a safe haven asset and cryptocurrencies. And I saw a direct correlationship between the gold and silver pricing as it was moving upwards, and the cryptocurrency pricing as it was moving upwards. Then I watched the geopolitical events start to settle back down again and cool off, and I watched the gold and silver price cooling off, and I watched the cryptocurrency price cooling down. And I seen a direct correlation between the two, And in my mind, I see this as more evidence that Bitcoin is actually moving toward becoming a safe haven asset. And a lot of that has to do with the way the coin is set up to begin with. It's set up as a saver's dream, with the blockchain being cut every 4 years in half. This halving is actually a big deal. It's a big deal because they're cutting the supply every 4 years in half. And we got a halving coming up, and I don't believe that halving has actually been priced in yet. And this is very important to know if you're a holder of Bitcoin. I'll tell you what I'm actually expecting as we move and progress into the future with Bitcoin, and as it matures, and as it becomes more of a safe haven asset than what it is now, is the fundamentals behind cryptocurrency, how it's set up originally to mimic gold. Bitcoin actually mimics gold. The fact that you actually have to mine it and it requires energy and effort, and that increasingly gets harder and harder every time they have it, every time they cut the amounts in half. So, for a person that's a hoarder, almost like in gold, they call them stackers, or they might call them gold bugs. Bitcoin mimics that to such a degree, but it has something that Bitcoin doesn't have. It actually moves in its own direction. With this way is it's able to be transferred across the internet. Okay, thank you guys for listening to this show. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.